Hey everybody, Ryan Gronfin here with The Restaurant Boss. Today is November 9th of 2022. I'm coming to you from my affiliate office in Rockport, Texas, with a very interesting fact, a factoid as I like to call it. This is about growing your revenue. A 2% increase in revenue can result in a 10% decrease in expenses. A 2% increase in revenue can result in a 10% decrease in expenses. Now, I've never had the statistics to back up what I'm about to say, and I now have the statistics for that from a couple of very large, prominent restaurant groups, looking at some of their Q3 performance numbers and hearing some of what the CEO said. I went through some of the numbers, and that's what I found. Is that a 2% increase in revenue can result in up to a 10% decrease in expenses. I have always been a top line guy. I have always said that revenue fixes all problems. Sales fixes all problems. Now, I know that's not true. Sales don't fix all problems. Revenue doesn't fix all problems, but it fixes a lot of them. I say this because I am, like I said, a top line coach, a top line consultant, a top line, we, the Restaurant Boss, are a top line organization. That's why we don't preach taking inventory. That's why Bacon is such a simple budgeting tool to use, because I see too many small restaurant operators spending hours a day, dozens of hours a week, hundreds of hours a month or a year, if not thousands, in the office, trying to get a perfect inventory system, trying to reduce their food costs by measuring things perfectly, when you should be out shaking hands and kissing babies. Go out into the community, shake more hands, kiss more babies, grow that top line. The bottom line will work itself out. Now, it doesn't mean it'll work itself out hands off. You have to be involved in it. But there are just a few numbers that matter, and you don't have to spend as much time on the bottom line as you think, or the middle lines, I should say, food cost, labor cost, direct operating expenses, to dramatically increase your profits. There's a quote by Ray Kroc that I want to read here. If I had a brick for every time I've repeated the phrase quality, service, cleanliness, and value, I think I'd probably be able to build a bridge, or to be able to bridge the Atlantic Ocean with them. If I had a brick for every time I said the phrase quality, service, cleanliness, value, I think I'd probably be able to bridge the Atlantic Ocean with them. Listen to that. Quality, service, cleanliness, value. Focus on your food quality. I have eaten at so many clients' restaurants, and I have been to so many restaurants in my community where the owner's in the office doing paperwork or working on financials, and the food sucks. Go on your line, taste your food, grab kitchen spoons, grab plastic spoons, taste everything. Nothing should ever get to a guest that hasn't been tasted. Because if it's not perfect on the line, it's definitely not going to be perfect when it gets to the guest. Make sure your service is there. Be on the floor with your team. Cleanliness. There's no excuse for dirty. There's no excuse for that. Cleanliness doesn't happen in the middle of service. You have hours ahead of service periods to clean. There's no excuse for that. And then value. Now, I know we are in an inflationary period right now, and I know that you have had to raise prices multiple times over the last year to year and a half, and that's fine. But the one thing I want to tell you is, as you increase prices, you open the door to competition. Now, I'm not telling you you should be cheap. I'm not telling you you should be expensive. Those are words that don't really have much meaning without context, but every restaurant should be different. But the point is, value is the word. When someone comes to your establishment, did they get a great value? See, I used to love Subway. I still like Subway. For what it was fine. When my sandwich was $6 or $7, when they did $5 footlongs, I'd get a Subway club or a meatball sandwich for dinner once a week or so with my wife when we were busy at the restaurants, because it was totally fine and cheap. Last time I went to Subway, it was $12 for my Subway club. By the time I made it a combo, it was over $16 with tax. There is absolutely no way I am paying $16 for a Subway sandwich. Whereas In-N-Out has kept their prices still down low. I saw Portillo's is really growing fast across the country, and they were on CNBC last night, Jim Cramer, and I saw an interview with the CEO, and he kept using the word value. He said, our margins have shrunk a little bit. Our profits, our dollar profits are still there, but our margins have shrunk a little bit during this period of time. But we would rather have guests coming to our restaurant with their expectations exceeded. We would rather have guests coming to our restaurant who love our quality, love our value, love our food, love the experience, than raise prices to a point where we are no longer exceeding their expectations. I've been saying that for 10 years that I've been coaching. So all I'm trying to say here in this video is work on your top line. The bottom line will figure itself out. And work on your top line so much that you can hire people to figure out your bottom line. But the point is, work on your top line. One of the fastest growing brands in the country, one of the most respected new brands in the country that I'm fortunate enough to have as a client for over 5 years now, that has 15 locations in the 5 years that I've been working with them, they are just now bringing on a CFO to work on the bottom line. But for the last 5 years, top line, top line, top line, top line, top line, top line, top line. Grow that top line. I've said this enough here today. Grow the top line. In order to grow the top line, focus, like what Ray Kroc said, quality, service, cleanliness, value. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. And remember, systems create freedom. Freedom creates value. Value creates scale. I love every single one of you crazy restaurant people. Bye-bye.